Hello, children. Welcome to our lesson one. We had a good shot last time, so let's see if we can get lesson one doing a bit better. The idea of this video is you can watch it, you can listen to my lovely voice, and you can work your way through the lessons. Now, what we need to do is you have to go to classwork, which you should have found because you've got this. Now, we can see there's the economics booklet. That's a copy of what you've already got. And we've got economics slides here, but we'll get into them at the moment. Now, you'll see here, this will be green when you're watching it, and that's obviously where you're hearing me from. Anyway, click on lesson one. You can see, open up the slides, work your way through it. The slides, as I say, are up there, and so is the electronic booklet if you want to have a look at it. Now, if I click on here, so what we can see is we're going to start at slide 19, and I'll click on that in a second. And let's open that up. And these are just the slides that are posted to your classroom, so you can open them that way. So all they come. Now if I scroll down to 19. So today we're going to have a look at describing why society used division of labour, and we're going to describe the term division of labour by process. Now, if we remember from yesterday, that's a little bit more. Yesterday we looked at subsistence level. We described the division of labour and why they used division of labour. So we're just building on what we learned yesterday. So our next thing, if we just flick back and forth, so that's what we're going to do. Let's go. It says go to slide 20. I don't need to click. Let's go back up here, and I go on slide 20. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to watch this little video here. You can just click here, and Mrs. Taylor and her fancy ways will play along. So if you want to do that, and just have a look what we've got to do. So read this text, watch the video, and answer the questions that follow. So we just scroll down here. Some high quality images there. And here we've got the questions down there. I'm not going to show you what they are, but I'll show you them in a moment. So if you could do that, while you're doing that, if you could pause this video. Once you've finished watching the video and you've answered the questions, unpause and I'll go over all the answers just as we would in a class. So here we go. Let's see how it works. Absolute magic. Right, watch this on your own device and restart it when you've watched the video and answered the questions. Thanks, guys. Excellent. So you should have unpaused now. Now let's go through the answers. So only watch this bit if you've answered the questions. If you haven't answered the questions, you better do them now. No cheating. So here we go. So how long did it take? It takes her 2 weeks. She tells us that quite a few times. She's a bit of a whine, Mrs. Taylor. It takes her 2 weeks just to make the one. How many did the trader want to buy? It was 20 because remember he wanted one for each of his wives. Interesting. So as you can see, the basic economic problem is that wants are greater than resources. And how are we going to do it? So this is what economics is all about. So people want to ask, what is economics? Well, this is it. Where all we're about is trying to answer these questions, what to produce and how to produce it. So what does Mrs. Taylor, not Mr. Taylor, he normally comes up with clever plans. Mrs. Taylor suggest? Yep, we split the job up and only do what you're best at. So just a bit like division of labour by product, when you did the job that you're best suited at, let's split it up and do one little thing at a time. Now, if we scroll down here, he also thinks that production will increase because no need to set it up. I have just noticed a spelling mistake. Look, we've got 2 spellings of Taylor. Who's written this? Anyway, so people get quicker because there's no need to set it up and tidy away every 2 minutes, and people will get better at it. Now, there are a number of different processes. We can see this, right? Define production in your own words. What do you get, guys? Well, I just put making things. Pretty simple. Production. And then we see productivity, that's a different word, refers to the amount that's produced with a certain number of resources. And what happens to productivity? Oh, it doubled. You remember they managed to make twice as many by doing this system, wasn't Mrs. Taylor? Now, they then asked what did the tailors do with their surplus? They swapped it, obviously, with the trader. He came back and he was all really, really happy. He got what he wanted, all his shawls for all his wives, and they got all the food. And what do we do with surpluses? Well, we sell it and buy other things. So finally, if you go to slide 21, here it is. Now, what I'd like you to do is, it says in pairs, shouldn't be in pairs. Doing this on your own, unless you've got brother or sister at home, make them talk about it. But can you put on the chat on our classroom? Here we go. I'll put a question in here and we'll do that tomorrow morning. And because as you can see, I'm doing it right. But have a look and see what everyone else has done. Sorry, I should have said pause now and do that. Okay, if you've done it, hopefully you've got some comments from other folk in the class that are doing this. If we go back to what we're doing now, using notes and videos. Right. Now, in this question, what we want you to do is, remember we talk about P, so make a point, expand, and evidence, or you could swap the two E's around. What we're doing is practicing our expanding. Now, what we want to do is, if I just so we want to save what we're talking about. Now, this has done the first bit for us. So, subsistence level mean. So that's really our point. I know we're given that point. We want to use words like this is when or this means. So, subsistence level is when, or subsistence level means. And you write a sentence, and that's just expanding it. So, if you could pause and do this work, and once you've typed it in, and if you type it in down here, put your responses here. If you just type here, I'm just going to add to it. Thank you. Right. What I now want you to do is do question 2. Now, we're building up our P sentences. So we should have, this is what subsistence level means. And then we want to add to that end of that sentence. So if I was to write subsistence level is when, have a look at your answers. In the video, the people. I give an example, and I'm going to do the same. If I can scroll back up here, I'm going to do the same for division labour by product. So you're just using examples of what the people did. You're going to mention Mr. Taylor, Mrs. Taylor, the shawls, the guy that looks like Boris. That's Mr. Mason, by the way, unless you didn't notice. And we can put all our points in there. If you can do that, I'll then put this in the document and I'll pass comments like I did yesterday. Okay, thank you very much, class.